The content objective basically outlines the expectation of what the student is supposed to understand regarding the content, the rigor of what's to be taught. So in this case, it was prepositions. So they had to understand where they were going to be using prepositions and how they were going to be using them. The language objective was how they were going to put that into practice, what was going to be evident as to their understanding of prepositions. So when they spoke, when they wrote, and when they demonstrated that they understood by writing or speaking, then that language objective was kind of just the evidence of that they actually understood and can internalize the prepositions. Today we have two things that I want us to focus on with prepositions, okay? The first one is, this is our language objective, and I'm going to read it and you can look along with me, okay? We will listen, speak, read, and write using prepositions to describe location. And location is just where you are or where something is, okay? So the first thing, what are we going to do? We're going to
listen, speak, read, and write
using prepositions that describe locations. And guess what? What are the prepositions we're going to use? All of those, right? Okay. Now here's the other thing I need you to do today. Let's read this one. We will use prepositions of location to describe ourselves and members of ecosystems. Ooh, that's a big word. Prepositions are kind of the soapbox for me because we see it in looking at TELPAS data from the beginner first grade writing samples all the way up to high school samples. We see that prepositions, both basic and more abstract, tend to be an issue that is a language interference issue with our kids. And so using the ESL block to reinforce these basics that a lot of times non-ELLs take for granted is really important for us to do. So in going back and looking at it, I decided that it would be good to start with your very concrete prepositions, things that can actually be ascribed to a drawing or a picture. If you notice, most of those prepositions didn't have any movement involved. So I decided to go with that, if that was going to be the anchor for the lesson, was to look and see which prepositions lent themselves to really getting the concept across in a concrete way. And so that's why we went with those prepositions of location.